Welcome back to my channel. This is a reading for Capricorn for the month of February 2023. Just going to go through some of the general energies here and then I'll flesh it out as we go further into the read. So starting out, I should just quickly mention this is just general energy. It's not going to speak to all of you, but for those of you that it does resonate for, certainly it's not predictions, it's just energy that is working around you that is available for you to access and use to your advantage. So that's how I view tarot. And as I say, anything that's relating around predictions is usually involving much more of your belief systems and your values, and you're tied into a sort of a fixed mindset. Whereas air energy, things that are more along tarot energy, these are energies that are around you, as I say, that can work to your advantage if you make the best use out of it, and are aware of what's around you. Sorry, I'm just on route, as I always am, just trying to give you a quick read here as we go. So I'll just start out with some of the main energy. So what I'm looking at here is the Four of Pentacles, and then we've got the Three of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Strength card, and then the Chariot. And of course I've pulled clarifiers here as well, and then the final cards out would be the Queen of Cups, the Fool, as well as the Ace of Cups. So for sure, most of the cards this month are fairly I don't want to say insignificant exactly, but they're certainly not as impactful as, some of the larger or major arcana. So the only one that I do see here that is major arcana for you to consider would be the Chariot. And there is something around that we'll get to toward the end of the month that might have some level of disappointment, but there's some very positive cards following further out. So we'll just start out with the Four of Pentacles. So in short, and again, we'll flesh it out and connect it to the clarifiers, but the Four of Pentacles in itself is a card of restricting oneself, either holding back one's heart. But in this particular case, because I see it paired up with the Star, I feel like this is a goal. This is something in around a goal. There is something here that's in around, something that's going to be making you happy this month. And I feel like for the most part, you actually are happy this month. I feel like you might be holding back on some finances. There might be a reason why you need to just monitor your finances at this time and just hang on to what you have. But at this point, I do see with the Three of Wands, there is a creative project that is expanding for sure. And I do feel like it is tied in around, as I say, a lot of cards here that is speaking to kind of a path of following one's North Star. This is someone who has taken the time to invest in a project or something that really is, how do I say, I don't want to say all-consuming, but it is something that is like a bigger part of who they are. It's not just a finishing, a work situation and moving on to the next. It's nothing like that. This feels like you're really tied to this path. You've really put in a lot of yourself to invest in the outcome. So anyway, then we've got the Strength card. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is that card of slowest moving, knight of the deck, but it is definitely doing things in a very practical way. So you're actually just putting in the time and effort into something. It is a slower card to, reveal the outcome, but it's still practical energy, one foot in front of the other. And then we've got the Strength card, and again, a real passionate conviction to get something done. And I feel like you really have the willpower and the fortitude, despite the fact that the Ten of Wands is a card of, oh my God, I'm really burdened with something this month, or something significant is really weighing on me. And I feel to a certain extent it is in around this Chariot. Something has been a bit of a letdown in regards to the Five of Cups here, in regards to a particular direction. But we do have further out the Ten of Cups. So of course that is leading you to get back onto the path of, something that makes you happy, something. So anyway, we'll flesh that out, but just generally, Queen of Cups is, of course, could be representing someone here. There's a lot of energy in around water sign for sure as well. But definitely this could represent somebody, but it's certainly kind of an impassioned sort of effort toward a new path here that you're jumping into with, kind of wholeheartedly is what I would say, especially when it's followed up by the Ace of Cups. That's energy that is a new start, that the universe is bringing through for you, so that you are actually going to be able to move something ahead creatively. And it could even be on the love front here as well, but there is some sense that you're just jumping in, wholeheartedly into a particular direction all around. So Okay, so let's just get right into it. Again, we're starting out with, most of these cards are just really light cards. They are cards of, sorry, these are cards of just minor arcana, so they're not really speaking to anything significant, that's altering in this month. It's more along the lines of just getting some things done, is what I would say for the most part. But I would say that, again, if we were just to look at this from the perspective of, what are the energies around me and how does that best suit my situation this month, this would be saying hold back on, some of the money, hold back on some of the what it is that you're revealing, or even around your your work projects, this kind of thing. And I should say maybe not so much work project, because the star really is, even though it's just a clarifier, it's still a card that indicates that it's a very significant path for you. But again, you either, again, the advice would be either just to hold it back, or just to be aware that you're in a space where you don't want to reveal too much about the direction, and your finances should be kept a little bit practical at this time anyway. But there is a need for you just to relax, push forward with what you're doing as it looks to be here as well. But there could be some kind of resistance toward whatever the star energy is, accomplishing a goal. Like I said, there could be something around the money part of it that is somehow interfering with the path moving forward. Because as they say, the star is a very positive card on the average, but given that it is coupled here with the Four of Pentacles, it just feels like you have some level of concern in some way here. So you're not able to just harness the energy and just jump in here, even though there's a lot of cards of, with the Knight of Pentacles, it's still slow moving energy towards something, but you are getting something done with the Three of Wands. Again, it's still energy around just holding back a little bit financially, because I feel like there is a reason here that you need to hold back. So whatever the universe is telling you here, it's still something that's going to be a wish fulfilled down the road here, because both of these cards can also represent significant monies that will be, that could be coming in with this particular project. But I don't really get that full on right now, just because the other cards speak to me as slower moving weight energy. And it's even with the Three of Wands, that's also a card of slowing things down and waiting on an outcome. So again, it's still cards of hope and healing and that kind of thing, and a wish being granted, but there's some energy that's really slowing it down this month. So again, there is a lot of creativity, could be Aquarius that's coming in here as well. But there's still that energy of whatever this outcome speaks to you. However, whatever the outcome is here, it just feels like it's going to be a little bit further out. It's not all, you're making advancements, but the outcome of that particular project is definitely not in this month. Okay, so then we will move on to, we'll go into the Three of Wands. As I say, the Three of Wands is definitely a card of movement for sure, but it's also a card of, having to wait for some real advancement in a particular area. I would say it's also, about kind of waiting for news, or, having an expectation of something in around a heartfelt matter. Could be a love interest or a younger person involved here as well. But it's sort of waiting around for something to get into motion. So it's not, it's just like a nudging forward with that Knight of Pentacles. You're being nudged forward into expansion and growth in some way here. But again, it's still, just keeping your eye on the future goal. It's not really, there's expectation here, but it's still not coming through with anything significant. Like I said, most of these cards this month seem to be kind of a held back type of energy. When we get to the Knight of Pentacles here as well, it's for sure, this is, prosperity that's coming to you with something. Like, this is something that could generate some definite money for you, but it is keeping things low key. I feel like, in terms of how you are operating this month, it's about just being dependable and hardworking and that kind of thing. That is the kind of movements that need to take place, as sort of quiet victories, quiet movements, really putting in hard work. It's stamina. It's really what most of this reading is. It's just the stamina, waiting on some things to fall into place, but having the stamina to kind of move in this direction, because there might be some challenges here given the 10 of Wands, but it is a 10, so you're basically almost wrapping up some aspect of an issue of concern here. So this could also indicate maybe a Virgo energy also coming through, but then we move into the Strength card, and the Strength card is really, as I say, it's one of really having the determination, as well as that Chariot card. It's right beside it. So this is really having the determination to kind of get something done. So I really feel like that's the headspace that you're in right now. There is a level of achievement that is important here to you, and is just a matter of, like I say, sort of waiting on things falling into place. The Strength card does have that energy of, it does have an energy of, a passionate, strong kind of connection to a particular direction here, I would say, as well. But it's also about personal power, self-control, confidence, all of that kind of comes into play. Could be that you need to have some level of control over yourself in this period, but it's definitely still having the determination, with some restraint. But there's a lot of drive to complete something, because that Chariot energy is the main card out here for this month, and that does indicate that there is some level of success or determination that you're trying to achieve in a particular direction. So Chariot is a very masculinized kind of card for me, as well as the Strength card, especially when they're right beside one another. But that Chariot card does have willpower, ambition, focus, all of those things that come into play here. So it's really, overcoming any adversity at all costs. It also represents a Cancer energy here too. And so I really just feel like you're kind of back into your power in this time frame. So you've really got a lot of focus, and you're combining your energy and all of that to make something happen. There is some level of disappointment here, though, with that 5 of Cups. It is a 5. It's something that's a little lower scale on the chart here for me, but it does indicate that there is some level of disappointment in the path. So something might be letting you down here with that 5 of Cups, that this month it's in around your direction. It's maybe something's disappointing you as far as an obstacle or something coming up here, because you do have the 10 of Wands right after, having to be strong over a situation. So it feels like there's a little bit of a letdown there, and that's probably toward the end of the month, I would say. But it is still just about being in control of oneself, and, keeping your focus and not to get sort of pulled away from the path, really, is what the cards sort of warn you of. It's just some kind of a minor disappointment that's kind of throwing you off and around your happiness. It's upsetting the level of happiness that you might otherwise have felt, given, the level of cards here. So when we get to the Queen of Cups energy as well, that is still speaking to, a lot of intuitive kind of energy around you at this time. But Queen of Cups is really somebody who's quite resourceful as well, to a certain degree, but it's more based on her gut feeling, or his gut feeling. I feel like you are really putting a lot of energy in around that at this time. There's still a lot of positive energy coming through here, but like I say, the Queen of Cups, diving in deep you want to really dive in deep, and that's sort of where you're at mentally, I feel, in this particular direction. Again, Cancer energy all over this. This is really about wanting it all. You want family life, good health, all of that nurturing, and everything to kind of come out of this path. That's really the direction you're headed in. So, I feel like there's a lot of psychic kind of energy coming through here as well with that Queen of Cups. But it is definitely a time of using your gut feeling and just staying calm, and that will be how you kind of move ahead into this Fool energy. So Fool energy, like I said, this is still in around, sorry, just turning things off here. Fool energy is just kind of jumping ahead into something, wholeheartedly following the path here with, as I say, your gut feeling on things. But you are still taking the practical steps here with the Knight of Pentacles. But, how you move around some of these potential obstacles with that Ten of Wands will be, you know, a lot more gut oriented. You're really using all the wisdoms this month. You know, you're putting one foot in front of the other and doing the right things and a methodical way, and then you're also following a lot of your instincts, but there is drive and determination to get ahead here. Like, you're not letting anything stop you, is what I would say here with the Queen of Cups. And again, with that fresh start with the Fool energy, I mean, you're just fully immersed in whatever this path is for you. So this is a real journey that you're kind of moving into, is what I would say. And I feel like it is a gift from the universe will be coming through to help you out with the Ace of Cups. So whether this means money, new job, new path, that's really something that's going to come in to help you on that level. But it is something that the universe is going to provide you with that will be happy news. So happy news of some sort is going to come through. And again, this can be for others, you know, kind of a healing path here as well. Whatever this is, this path that you're really investing yourself in is a healing path. It's something that you're emotionally connected to, that you find emotional fulfillment from as well. So like I say, I'll kind of flesh out just a little bit more here, but for the most part, that is the general gist. But we do have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, I want to go back to that because the Knights are all about motion and movement, and it does seem to be in regards to a connection here as well. So as I say, even though you've got some unlimited potential, something that you haven't quite tapped into or embraced fully yet, because you're still in the energy of the Fool, this new start and this new beginning, and it is a new start and a new beginning on more than one front, because the Queen of Cups is bringing in the motivation, the movement to kind of push you in this direction. But with the Fool and the Ace of Cups, that's definitely something that is a really passionate beginning. It could be again on the love front for some of you, but it's, in terms of romance and all of that. But it really feels like this is just either way an opportunity that you won't be able to turn down, because it's really tied to your emotional state. It's something that is part of the level of fulfillment that you get from this is what is really moving you forward. And again, even when we get into like the Lover's card here, the Two of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles, I mean, these are all cards of, a partnership is very valuable to you as well with that Knight of Pentacles energy. And again, with the Chariot, I mean, this is sort of speaking to you kind of transporting yourself, despite the upset, you're transporting yourself toward your own destiny regardless. You've been really working on this investing in something, and you're really you just really focused on the win, I guess is what I want to say there. You're really focused on the direction. You really are, I feel, trying to make something happen in it, and it's going to happen, is what I would say for you. There's not a card here that tells me that you can't have what you're doing, what you're setting out toward. This is true purposeful action and lots of commitment, lots of connection to move something ahead for sure. But I definitely feel, like I say, it's not without hard work here, because the Ten of Wands is definitely, there's difficulty ahead with all of this, and it's going to require a lot of you, I feel. A lot of investment, but you are at the 10, so that means that there is something that's going to come out of this either in the next month, because you're all in different timelines. Something is going to come out of this in the next month that is going to open it up and take away some of the burden here with the Ten of Wands, because you're at the final end of that cycle. So something is going to lighten the load, yeah, I suspect, in the next month. But you are clearly working on that for this period. Sorry, and I should have said the Strength card is also that card of, it's a major arcana. So, and again, that was Strength with the Chariot. So again, those are two major cards. Actually, I would say that's really your energy for the month. You have a lot of, just a lot of commitment to move in this direction, like I said, and I feel like it's a true path. Like it's a path of what do they say? It's like it's following your North Star. This is what I would say. That you're really fighting yourself to maintain some kind of balance, or that you need to kind of seize control of your destiny and your plans, but also staying calm in the face of these changes. Because it could be a little bit of an intense period here. Like I said, with the Strength and the Ten of Wands, you're kind of battling a few things here that just make you feel like you are, but I feel like you've got the belief in yourself to make it happen despite whatever, whatever is kind of, I don't want to say sabotaging, because it's not. You're not sabotaged in this way. You're drawing on a lot of your own strength to get past things, and it feels like it's energy you've been in before. So, okay, so I'll just kind of skip it ahead here, and we'll get right into some of the other cards here very shortly. But Knight, which were the advice cards and so on. So again, Knight of Pentacles, I just want to say overall, that is going to be a card of success and completion of something, but for some of you, this is a self-employment card. Usually for me, I see self-employment cards more along the Knight of Wands, but this is definitely somebody who's trying to be practical and responsible in, how they operate in bringing something forward here with the Three of Wands. But you definitely have a lot of slow movement, but it is solid movement. It's this really intentional leadership, kind of honest qualities, and someone who is could be also having some issues around the neck, shoulders, stomach, knees, that kind of thing where there's some tension. But I feel overall, you are setting achievable goals for yourself this month. Could be Virgo, Taurus also kind of coming through for me as well. But when we get back into that Queen of Cups energy, and this is really the final outcome cards, I just feel like you can trust your ideas this month. And like I said, I mean, this is, kind of a nurturing sort of energy as well to your projects, to whatever this potential love interest is with that Ace of Cups, new love coming through, but you're willing to, whatever this path is, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, relevant. I feel like you're really comfortable with yourself and this new direction, and it does fulfill you in a very complete sort of way. So I do feel like you're not blocked emotionally or anything like that this month. It just feels like there's a very powerful sort of readiness to move something ahead. Spiritually, I feel like you're able to flow, and there's a lot more flow, a lot more connection to spirit, that kind of thing. There's stability here, dependability. I feel like you have some pretty good self-esteem here this month as well. But the only other thing would be like I said, it's a persevering energy. But the Four of Pentacles is also just telling you just to kind of hold back on some of the finances in regards to this dream or this goal or this, healing. And maybe you are pulling back a little bit of your energy because you are in a place of healing with the Star, whether that's truly physical or, emotional. But it seems like it's almost body oriented because Pentacles also represent the body. But either way, it's still around your discipline. Fours are discipline, and it kind of is that ability to manifest things and create stability for oneself. So I feel like you still have a lot of order coming in this month with all of these cards. And again, even though there is some change and there's some progress and that kind of thing, the Five of Cups just being a little bit of, a new cycle where you need to it's just an uncertain part of the journey here that is kind of pulled you back a little bit. But for the most part, everything is still moving in a really positive direction. And again, like I said, Four of Pentacles, I mean, you're really on the right path here because it is a card out. The outcome will result in a fair amount of money because you have really kept a stable, solid base is what's coming through here. You just need to be a little bit more restricted in your finances or pulling back with, how you move something ahead. Just maintain is what I would say here. Just guard your money, guard yourself for the moment, just because there might be something uncertain here toward the end of the month that is going to create a little bit of an issue for you. So nothing really significant or that I feel is throwing you off this month, but I just feel like you are just needing to continue the path on a stable note. I want to go into sorry, I'm just trying to find my cards there. The advice cards here. So I'm just going to put down the other ones for a second. Okay, so the cards that I did pull, strangely, all fell out as the Ariel cards, which is kind of interesting because it sort of speaks to, kind of passionate, the pink, passionate connections to things. So what I see here, is the Eight of Ariel. Eights, of course, are still progressing towards something here, but it's take pride in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional education or training. So there might be something where you just need to upgrade something a little bit to move it into the next level. We also have the Knight of Ariel. Definitely, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, funny, so much to accomplish, make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. You do have protection this month for sure. Spirit is there for you. These are, and as I say, they all came out with the Ariel cards. So I really feel like there's a lot of do what you love, time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, and working with others in a cooperative manner. So whatever this is, again, not with just with the Three of Ariel, but there was the Three of Wands. It is taking more than one person to bring about whatever this goal is or this dream. You have invested wisely, have patience, and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. So again, all these cards really speak to a lot of movement and expansion and growth, and it is based around things that you enjoy to do, things that you love. And I feel like there is no reason for you to, kind of deviate from your path here, because you are following your passions. This is where you're involving yourself, all your skills and your talents are kind of putting you out there, in a way that is giving you a lot of confidence this month as well. And especially too with the Knight of Ariel, all of these cards really speak to progress, because it does go from the 7 to 3 to the 7 to the 8. And it just feels like you have a lot to look forward to. But overall, just to kind of skip it ahead here, getting into the Eight of Ariel, again, that's still a card of doing, really amazing work. You've got a lot to learn yet in whatever this thing is that you're trying to advance, but I don't feel like you have any problems doing the research, and you're willing to benefit from those connections as well. The Seven of Ariel all speaks to that same, you've got seeds planted here, and this is really about taking the time to develop things, but it is still slow and steady progress on more than one card that's coming out here. But it's a really good opportunity, and it's okay to stop and review your plans at time to time here, because you're moving in the direction of success, and it's just a matter of waiting for things to line up before you can really, advance. But sometimes the universe slows you down because you've missed something, and it's hoping that you'll kind of take a second look around before you go ahead here. And that just makes your foundation a little bit stronger. So we're also in that place with the Knight of Ariel. Again, that really speaks to the same. You're past the page. You're advancing it beyond the very beginning of something, even though it is still further out, a new journey up ahead for something that you've not done before. But it is still about making a plan for you to do this slow, deliberate, steady, action. So it is cards of, you're greatly involved in this passion project is really what I would say here. There's just, like I said, all the cards are the Ariel cards, so it's all sort of passion projects coming through here. Last cards out, we have the Community card, and we also have, okay, we do have the card of Deceit. So there might be something happening. Like I said, it seems to be more along the end of the month, but the card of Deceit is here as well. So there might be something where somebody's trying to get away with something this month that's causing a little bit of a detour. Maybe at the end of the month, maybe that's where that issue sort of arises. But the door to personal healing and happiness is here. So I feel like whatever this path is, like I said, you're on a path that is one you're choosing to it's a heartfelt path. It's just something that you've really kind of thought about, I would say over the course of your life. This is not something that's just kind of, surface. This is a new beginning though with this card, and it still speaks to, on the personal side of things as well. Emotionally, you're doing a lot of inner healing, and of course, because of those external changes, internal changes, this is why you're actually being shown that there's a new path for you as well. Because when we do the work, there is something that will open up to us because we're releasing things. When you release things, it allows new energy to come in, so you don't have to reside and sit in the old energy. The card of the Deceit might be part of where you have to do the final release of something that is negatively impacting you, but it could be also a card of someone, that's here to kind of manipulate things and it is a card of hidden tactics is really what the card boils down to. So somebody is maybe presenting themselves one way, but they're really trying to do something a little underhanded or deceptive here. You know, disrespectful, whatever it is for you, it's all going to speak to you differently, but it's something that, and I would say for some, it could be lying to yourself, but not really. In this reading, it doesn't feel that way because it feels like you're pretty secure with who you are this month. It just feels like you're honoring your path. And so that's why I don't feel like that's really noteworthy there. I feel like you're going to overcome it, whatever it is. And especially too with the card of community, whatever this is, it's going to take a lot of supportive energy to bring something forward. I don't feel like you're doing this on your own. It does take, you know, some higher associations, maybe of people that have, you know, as they say, the like mind, or that have information that will advance your projects. But either way, it's you needing to connect personally or network, that kind of thing, that will bring about or accelerate sort of the outcome that you're desiring. So anyway, that's what I have for you for the month of February 2023, Capricorn. So keep moving forward, never give up. We'll see you in future reads.